What if I told you that after the age of 70, the line between living independently and a life-altering fall comes down to your very own feet? It's not about non-slip socks or bathroom grab bars. It's a small mistake in the way you walk every day that you don't even realize you're making. I'm a physical therapist with over 25 years of experience working with older adults. Every week, I meet people who have recently fallen, and they all say the exact same thing. I was just walking to the bathroom. I wasn't doing anything dangerous. And they're right. They weren't climbing ladders or carrying heavy boxes. They were simply walking, following an old habit that has become weak and unstable over time. Today, I'm going to point out the flaw in your walk right now, why it's extremely dangerous, and one small change that will help you walk more steadily, immediately. No equipment, no complicated exercises. Just one simple adjustment to regain your confidence and protect your independence for years to come. Before we dive into this habit, let me know you're here, type 1, your age, and the city you're living in the comments below. Now, let's take a look at the hidden habit that's threatening your safety. Let me describe a scenario and see if it sounds familiar. Take a close look at how you or your loved ones are walking. Are the steps getting shorter? Do the feet barely leave the floor, sliding forward instead of lifting? Is the body leaning slightly forward, eyes fixed on the ground, with the arms hardly swinging at all? You might think this is just walking carefully, but you'd be wrong. In reality, this is one of the single biggest fall risks for adults over 70. In the medical world, we call this a shuffle gait. The reason it develops is simple. After a close call or a moment of lost balance, a sense of fear sets in. That caution slowly turns into a habit without you even realizing it. You feel like you're walking safer, but you're actually making your legs weaker every day. And this is where the danger begins. When your feet stay close to the floor, even the smallest obstacles become deadly traps. A curled rug edge, a doorway threshold, a tiny crack in the sidewalk. Things you once stepped over without a second thought can suddenly bring you down. The moment your toe catches, your body's momentum keeps you moving forward. Because your weight is already pitched ahead, there is almost zero time to react or recover. The fall happens before you even realize you've lost your balance. A shuffle gait is more than just a walking habit, it's a warning sign. It tells us that your hip flexors are weakening, your glutes and core are no longer providing support, and most importantly, the communication between your brain and your legs is slowing down. Your movement is no longer automatic or stable. But here's the good news. You can reverse this. And it all starts with one simple adjustment to your very next step. The good news is, fixing this problem doesn't require expensive equipment, a gym membership, or hours of grueling exercise. It all starts with one small change you can apply immediately. Start every step with your heel. In the medical world, this is called a heel strike. It's the way the human body was naturally designed to move. When you walk correctly, your heel touches the ground first. So, your weight then rolls smoothly through the arch, onto the ball of the foot, and finally, your toes push off to drive you forward. Think of it as a rhythmic cycle. Heel, arch, ball, toes. This rolling motion is exactly what keeps you balanced, stable, and strong with every step you take. But over time, as confidence and balance fades and muscles weaken, many people unconsciously stop landing on their heels. The foot begins to land flat on the floor, or in some cases, even towards the front of the foot. That natural rolling motion disappears. Steps become shorter. Feet stay closer to the ground. Before long, the shuffle gait becomes your new normal. This is why restoring the heel strike is so powerful. The moment your heel leads each step again, a chain reaction occurs throughout your entire body. Your stride naturally becomes longer. Your stability improves significantly. Your posture becomes more upright instead of leaning forward. And most importantly, your feet clear the ground more easily, eliminating the risk of tripping over everyday obstacles. At the same time, the muscles that have been lying dormant are forced to wake up. Your hip flexors lift the leg higher, your glutes provide the power to push, and your core engages to keep you steady. One small adjustment, one simple change, yet it activates nearly every system responsible for safe and confident walking. This is the core habit that will help you regain your mobility, your flexibility, and your independence. But here is the problem. You cannot fix years of shuffling just by thinking about it once. Your brain and legs need to relearn the pattern through practice. So now, let's go through 5 simple exercises that make heel-first walking feel natural, steady, and automatic again. The first exercise is called conscious heel strike walk. Before your walking can improve, your brain needs to remember a movement pattern it has gradually lost. Many older adults shuffle for so long that landing on the heel no longer happens naturally. Find a hallway or a clear walking space in your home. If needed, stay close to a wall for extra support. As you begin walking, focus on one thing and one thing only, your heel. With every step, reach your heel slightly forward and let it touch the ground first. Feel your weight roll through the middle of your foot. Then push off gently through your toes as you move into the next step. Do not worry about speed. In fact, slower is better. The purpose of this exercise is not exercise intensity. The purpose is neurological retraining. Move slowly enough that you can feel every part of the step. Heel first, roll through the foot, push off through the toes, then repeat. Think of this as teaching your brain a skill it once knew well but is gradually forgotten. Every correct step strengthens that connection. The second exercise is called high knee march. This move teaches your legs to lift higher instead of dragging close to the floor. Stand behind a sturdy chair. Place both hands lightly on the back of the chair for balance. Keep your feet about hip-width apart and stand tall. Now lift your right knee up toward your chest as high as you comfortably can. Pause for a moment at the top, then lower that foot back to the floor slowly. Do not drop it. Now lift your left knee the same way. Pause, then lower it with control. Keep switching sides like you are marching in place. Do 15 lifts on each leg. Move slowly. Keep your chest upright, your eyes forward, and your stomach gently tight. Do not lean backward when the knee comes up. The movement should come from your hip, not from swinging your body. The third exercise is called stride length walk. This helps you stop taking tiny, unstable steps and teaches your body to reach forward with control. Place 2 small pieces of tape on the floor, about 18 inches apart. If that feels too far, start with 12 inches. Stand near a wall or counter so you have support if needed. Step forward and try to land your heel on or just past the second piece of tape. Then bring the other foot forward and do the same thing. Keep walking this way down the hallway, aiming for the same step length each time. Focus on 3 things. Reach the heel forward, land on the heel first, then roll through the foot. Do not lunge. Do not force a giant step. The goal is a longer, safer stride, not an exaggerated stretch. Take 10 full strides, then turn carefully and walk back. Over time, move the tape slightly farther apart, only about half an inch at a time. This trains your stride to grow stronger without making your balance feel unsafe. The fourth exercise is called slow motion walk. This trains your body to stop relying on speed and momentum and forces each muscle to work with control. Stand near a wall or counter for safety. Begin walking as slowly as you can. Each step should take about 3 to 4 seconds. Lift one foot off the floor. Pause briefly in the air. Reach your heel forward. Place it down first. Then slowly shift your weight through the foot. Push gently through the toes and begin the next step. Move like this down the hallway, then turn carefully and walk back. Do not rush. The slower you move, the more your balance system has to work. If you wobble a little, do not panic. That wobble is your body learning. Every small correction from your foot, ankle, hip, and core is training your nervous system to become more responsive and stable. The fifth exercise is called obstacle step over. This matters because real life is not a flat, empty hallway. Rugs, door thresholds, cords, pet toys, and small objects on the floor can all become trip hazards when your feet stop lifting high enough. Place a rolled towel or a pool noodle on the floor. It should be soft, light, and about 4 to 6 inches high. Stand a few feet behind it, with a wall, counter, or sturdy chair close enough to reach. Walk toward the obstacle slowly and with control. Before you get too close, lift your right foot high enough to clear it, step over, then place the heel down first on the other side. Now bring your left foot over the same way, lifting it clearly instead of dragging it. Take a few steps forward, turn carefully, then come back over the obstacle again. Do 5 passes in each direction for 10 total step-overs. The goal is not speed. The goal is to teach your brain to see the danger early, lift the foot in time, and land safely. Now, an important safety warning. If you have recently had a hip replacement, knee replacement, plantar fasciitis, a heel condition, or if your doctor has told you to avoid weight-bearing exercise, speak with your physician or physical therapist before trying these movements. Always practice near a wall, counter, or sturdy chair. Wear non-slip shoes or go barefoot only on a safe surface. Never rush these exercises. If you feel sharp pain, dizziness, or anything that does not feel right, stop immediately. No exercise is worth risking a fall. The most important thing to remember is this. You do not have to do this perfectly. You just have to practice it consistently. Every time you slow down, lift your foot, land on your heel, and roll through the step, you are teaching your body a safer way to move. That message adds up. Not in one day, not from one perfect workout, but from small, careful repetitions done again and again. And the real benefit is not just walking better. It is not just having better balance. The real benefit is being able to walk to your mailbox without fear. Step into your bathroom with more confidence. Go up your stairs with more control. Play with your grandchildren without constantly wondering if your legs will hold you. That is what this is really about. Independence. The ability to move through your own home, your own neighborhood, and your own life without feeling trapped by fear. Aging does not mean surrendering control over your body. It means learning what your body needs now, then giving it that reminder every single day. Heel first, foot lifted, posture tall, step with intention. So starting today, pay attention to your very next step. Do not shuffle, do not drag your feet. Let your heel lead the way. If you are committed to practicing heel first walking starting today, comment heel first along with your age and where you are watching from. I want to know who is taking this step with us. If this video helped you, please like it, share it with someone who needs to walk more safely, and subscribe to Senior BeWell for more simple health tips made for older adults. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.